see to Alan Michael.
All right. I wonder if this is anything important.
Joe Bradley's address and phone number. With a note to withdraw funds from the company account. I don't understand. Why would he have Joe Bradley's address and phone number in the first place? Well, no. I'd better ask Alan if it's important.
Alan Michael all right?
Yes, he's fine. But something strange has happened. I know I did not leave the window open in the nursery. When I went in just now, I found it open.
Oh, Emily, I think that we're going to have to lock up the entire house until Alan and Wayne get back.
Yes, I think so, too. No, you call the baby. I'll go check on the rest of the windows and doors in the house.
All right, thank you very much, Wayne. It's okay, sweetheart. It's okay, Daddy. We'll be home soon. There's nothing for you to worry about, okay? Nothing at all.
Today's your last chance to get that $10 million delivered to me, Alan, or it'll be all over for
Do you have any idea how long it takes to get $10 million together in cash? I can't just walk into a bank.
I thought the great Alan Spaulding could do anything when it comes to money.
Don't push me too far, Joe. I warned Diane from the first never to trust you, and she might be alive today if she'd only listened to me.
Well, I think you found out too late that Diane was the one who couldn't be trusted. Now, I just want the money and to get out of town. But before I go, it may be of some comfort for you to know that one of your cohorts will be paying plenty, too.
What are you talking about?
Well, I don't see any harm in telling you that Henry Chamberlain has almost as much to hide as you do. And thanks again to Diane, I'm going to collect on that one, too. I may have hated Diane's guts, and I'm certainly glad she's dead. But I have to give the devil her due. She left me an annuity, and I'll always be grateful for it. The same annuity that will send you to prison.
Mr. Spaulding? Hello, Wayne. Sit down. Have a glass of wine with me.
Thank you. The Jeep's all ready to go for the return trip. And I think you should take a taxi or walk into Oratava. We don't want to draw a crowd of curiosity seekers like we did yesterday.
Yes, you're probably right. So you wait here for me with the Jeep, will you? Now, you're sure that the helicopter's ready to take off at a minute's notice?
Yes, sir, and I've loaded all the emergency supplies I took from the company jet when we hangared it in Casablanca.
Good. Now, I can't tell you how grateful I am for all your support, Wayne. Even knowing from the papers that I'm wanted for questioning in the death of Joe Bradley, you've trusted me implicitly.
Well, it isn't merely a question of trust, Mr. Spaulding. We've had an excellent working relationship for a number of years now. I respect you, but I admire a man who is doing what you are to protect his family.
Thank you. Well, I better walk into town. I'll see you in about an hour. Wayne, if I'm not back in 2 hours, I don't want you to come looking for me. I want you to drive straight up that mountain, help Emily pack, and then get Hope and the baby and Emily to Casablanca and on the jet and back to Springfield. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, but I don't understand why you're telling me this now.
I really can't explain it, and I didn't want to say anything to my wife before we left this morning, but... Well, I woke up with a presentiment of danger, and I'm not a superstitious man. It must be the pressure I've been living under lately. Well, hopefully I'll see you in an hour. But if not, I want you to remember what I told you.
Yes, sir, I will.
The Guiding Light. This portion is presented by Dawn, the dishwashing liquid that takes grease out of your way. And by delicious mountain-grown Folgers, mountain-grown for rich flavor.
You'll lose, Carrie. You'll lose, Carrie. You'll lose, Carrie. You'll lose.
How long do you think little Carrie will be around once she finds out the kind of manipulating con artist you really are?
Just because you've never had any true feelings for anybody, Diane. You'd like nothing better than to destroy a relationship you could never understand.
I know all about love. I've loved Alan Spaulding from the day I first met him. And one day, very soon, Alan will realize that he feels the same way.
Never. It'll never happen, Diane. Your so-called love for Alan Spaulding is as sick as everything else about you.
I can spread the truth about this little scheme of yours to get more control of the company by taking advantage of Amanda's mental condition just by picking up that telephone. It'll be all over Springfield in about 20 minutes. And Carrie Todd will find out about it in less time than that.
Diane, if you ever do anything like that, I'll...
What? Go on. Finish what you were saying.
You better pray that I never do.
I just left Henry's office on a little thing that we've got going. I wanted to tell you, Ross, that Diane kept very close records on all of her deals.
Meaning?
Meaning that I now know what she was holding over your head before she was killed.
Well, Mike Bauer and the Springfield police know all about that too, Joe, so if you're thinking of anything...
I'm only thinking how it could foul up a lot of things for you if I start spreading the truth about your way of getting more control around here for Amanda by yourself.
I'm sorry, Joe, but your bluff is just not going to work.
It's no bluff. It's all very carefully documented in a diary that Diane kept. All of her schemes outlined out. I'm not interested in the stocks that Diane wanted. I'll settle for a flat sum of about...
You'll settle for nothing, Bradley. Now listen, if you do have that diary, it means only one thing to me. You had to kill Diane Ballard in order to get it.
You're in no position to make threats, Marler. I just love to walk down the hall there to the graphics department, tell Carrie Todd just exactly what kind of...
Listen, if you ever go near Carrie Todd for any reason at all, you'll never live to talk about it.
What a solemn expression. I don't think I've ever seen you look like that before. What are you thinking about?
I was thinking to what lengths I would go to protect our love.
I'd do the very same thing.
I was also thinking, perhaps I had no right to ask you to marry me. At least not yet.
Kelly, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
I know it's going to be a very special day for you.
Well, your daughter already started off the bang this morning by fixing me a very special breakfast.
You know, I can remember having reservations about Morgan being so young to be married, but I have never seen her so dedicated or level-headed in her approach to anything as she's been in her approach to her marriage.
I agree with you. What are you doing here so early?
Amanda had an appointment with Sarah, so I thought I'd wait for her and drive her to the office.
Oh, how does it feel to be a working woman?
Oh, it feels wonderful. I love it. I'm enjoying it. I'm also very glad that I can be there to support Amanda through all of this.
Yeah. Has, anyone heard anything from Ben?
Well, Alan had started a search, but now that Alan is gone, I don't know what's going to happen. Kelly, happy birthday.
Oh, come on.
It's your birthday. I didn't know that.
Oh,
You keeping it a secret or something?
Well, I was kind of trying, but then Justin said something about it, and it seems like one of the other clerks knows, so I think somebody's been saying something.
I didn't say anything.
Amanda, we better get going.
Okay. Sarah, thank you for all your help.
Well, you just keep those positive thoughts about Ben and Alan.
I'll try.
Happy birthday to you.
What is this? No, I really want to know who's been talking around here.
You're forgetting I'm very close to your godfather.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, at any rate, I better get back to work. Thanks.
Amanda, dear, I'm so sorry about everything going on in your life and that you can't be there tonight.
What do you mean by that, Vanessa?
Well, with all the headlines about Alan in the paper, I can understand why it would be very difficult for you to be out in public.
You're mistaken. I don't feel that way at all. I'm certainly not hiding out, and I'm not ashamed to be seen in public because I believe completely in my father's innocence. And when Mike finds him and brings him back so that he can explain the circumstances that have put him under suspicion, I'm going to tell him about certain disloyal company members who only supported the rumors of his guilt for their own selfish reasons. Goodbye, Sarah.
Bye, Sarah.
Well, this is Nola Reardon, Mr. McCord's household supervisor, and I'm just wondering why the draperies weren't delivered this morning. No, I paid cash for them. Well, I think you should know that Mr. McCord has just recently moved to Springfield, and I think you would be interested in know that he has a 30-room mansion that he'd like to furnish. You're going to send a messenger right out? Yeah. Thank you. I kind of like having this power. Floyd?
Hi, Nola. Mrs. Renfield said it was okay for me to come up here and talk to you.
You're not supposed to be here till 7:30.
Well, that's why I came by. That and more important reason. I can't tell you how I felt when I received this letter in the mail this morning. It's the first letter I ever got from you.
Well, I don't write many letters. It was a special circumstance.
Well, I don't know what they were, but I was really touched by your concern, the way you expressed it, and about me being the father.
Floyd, good Lord, get in here. The whole point of the letter was so that Mr. McCord and Mrs. Renfield would know that you were the father.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot for a minute. But I don't see why you have to make up this big story about somebody else being the father.
Sit down for a minute. I did it for your own protection. Because ever since I started working here, Mr. McCord and Mrs. Renfield have been very protective about me and the baby, asking all sorts of questions. Who the father is? Why isn't he here assuming his part of the responsibility? I'm afraid they're going to do something terrible to you.
Nola, you know that I would love to be around you more, and I would do anything that I can.
They're going to let the dogs loose on you or something. You're going to end up in a box in Mr. McCord's... Who is it?
Mr. McCord, Nola. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you had company.
Hi, Mr. McCord. Mrs. Renfield said it was okay for me to come up here. I just came by to tell you that I wouldn't be able to pick you up tonight because I have a rehearsal at the restaurant. So I'm sending a taxi to come and pick you up. Okay?
Well, that's very generous of you, Floyd, but I have a car and driver, and since I'm going to, I'll be glad to give Nola a lift.
Oh, well, that's very democratic of you, Mr. McCord, but it's not necessary.
Democratic? Why?
Well, you're being Nola's boss and everything. I just assumed that you wouldn't want to walk in the same place with one of your employees.
Oh, Floyd, I don't think of Nola as just an employee. And besides those class distinctions you were referring to, well, they're outmoded and...
Well, I guess that does it, huh? That solves everything. Okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just head on to the hospital.
Okay.
Oh, Nola, don't forget that it's Kelly's birthday tonight.
Right.
And I know that things have been very strained between you guys, but I just thought that if you picked up a card or something, it might help to patch things up. Okay. Nice seeing you, Mr. McCord.
Floyd? Kelly must be the medical student I met at Cedars Hospital the other day. I'm sorry that you had a falling out with a friend, Nola.
Well, sometimes that happens. You know, you get close to somebody and their wife gets jealous.
If you had this falling out a few months ago, that must have been just about the time you discovered you were pregnant.
Oh, you're right about that.